Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 607 based on novel. So let's start. Sect. Wang Lin awakened from his cultivation and reminiscence filled his eyes. After a long time, Wang Lin calmly said, I came from the Seven Dao sect. Seven Dao sect? Empyrean Exalt High Z thought for a moment. There didn't seem to be a Seven Dao sect as she recalled all the powerful sects. Eastern Continent, Seven Dao sect, a very small sect. Wang Lin sighed. Now that someone had asked him about his sect, he felt homesick. Empyrean Exalt softly said, I don't have a sect. I followed teachers since I was little. I grew up on Emperor Mountain. Emperor Mountain is very beautiful. During this season, it is covered in red leaves, as if it's on fire. If you have the chance, you should see Emperor Mountain. As they chatted, a special atmosphere spread out within this 1,000-foot area. With your Empyrean Exalt combat power, I presume the Southern Continent's Grand Empyrean Dao Yi has tried to recruit you. Did you agree? Empyrean Exalt High Z's beautiful gaze fell on Wang Lin. No, Wang Lin shook his head. After hearing his words, Empyrean Exalt High Z smiled and blinked as she whispered, My teacher is a very good person. Why don't you follow him? I'm currently not considering. Wang Lin didn't directly refuse but delayed. How long have you cultivated? Empyrean Exalt High Z suddenly asked. Probably not as long as you. Wang Lin frowned. When Empyrean Exalt High Z heard this, she covered her mouth and laughed. This was the first time she did this. You have the power of an Empyrean Exalt at your cultivation level, but you are in no rush to leave. That means you don't have a Dao partner. Otherwise, it would be impossible for you to not be worried at all, Empyrean Exalt said while laughing. Wang Lin frowned again and looked at the beautiful woman before him. He vaguely felt like there was something strange about her, something different from what he had felt before. Seeing how both of us are trapped here and you didn't leave me alone, how about having Big Sister here introduce you to someone? Empyrean Exalt High Z seemed very interested in this subject as she examined Wang Lin. Appearance is normal but has a unique temperament, not bad. Cultivation level is ordinary but has Empyrean Exalt combat power, very good. Overall still pretty good. How about this, once we get out, Big Sister will help you find a Dao partner. Empyrean Exalt High Z's eyes shined brightly. She looked at Wang Lin and gently moved her alluring lips. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he coldly said, Put away your charm spell. Empyrean Exalt High Z frowned, and when she was about to speak, Wang Lin's eyes released a golden light. He looked extremely majestic with this gaze, and there was also a suppression force coming from his eyes. Empyrean Exalt High Z didn't speak due to that gaze. If you want to speak to someone after being trapped here for too long, then I'll help you find someone to talk to. As Wang Lin spoke, a shadow appeared over his body. His Slaughter Thunder Essence true body walked out and sat between him and Empyrean Exalt High Z. Talk to my avatar, don't interrupt my cultivation. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes as he got up and walked to the furthest corner from Empyrean Exalt High Z. He sat down again and closed his eyes to refine the third mountain sea tree spirit. Empyrean Exalt High Z was startled. She didn't think Wang Lin would think of this method. She frowned and looked at the Slaughter Thunder Essence true body that gave off a cold aura that was staring at her with a cold gaze. She snorted and began to cultivate as well. There is something strange about Empyrean Exalt High Z. When Wang Lin's original body sat down to cultivate, he looked at Empyrean Exalt High Z and his pupils shrank an undetectable amount. I originally thought something had changed with the broken palm so that when it appeared again, it didn't fly toward me but attacked her first. Looking at it now, there seems to be some secret. The change to Empyrean Exalt High Z was very strange, but Wang Lin didn't notice anything like two souls in one body. That's why he used the Celestial Ancestor's sword in his eyes but also found nothing. At first, Empyrean Exalt High Z gave me the feeling that she was normal, but just now she seemed a little unbridled. Wang Lin frowned and pondered for a moment. Then he ignored this matter and immersed himself in absorbing the mountain sea tree spirit. In a flash, 3 years passed. During these 3 years, Wang Lin ignored Empyrean Exalt High Z. He continued to absorb the mountain sea tree spirit, and the wood essence in his body continued to grow. After 3 years, he had absorbed 4 spirits and his wood essence had reached small completion. Patterns of green had appeared on the surface of Wang Lin's skin. They looked like the veins of plants. It made Wang Lin look somewhat strange. During these 3 years, Empyrean Exalt High Z didn't speak a word and was immersed in cultivation like Wang Lin. Her expression sometimes changed, and it was unknown what spell she was cultivating. During these 3 years, a thunderous rumble would echo from outside every once in a while, as if there was a powerful force hitting the light curtain. As time went by, this rumble became even more common. The 1,000-foot light curtain had showed signs of shrinking over the last 3 years. On the 4th month after 3 years, the thunderous rumble was far louder than before. It interrupted Wang Lin's cultivation and he looked up. When he looked up, his expression changed and he stepped forward. The moment he stepped forward, the 1,000-foot light curtain suddenly shrank. It shrank nearly to half, 500 feet. Empyrean Exalt High Z also awakened and stepped forward. The thunderous rumble lasted for almost half an hour before it slowly dissipated and the light curtain had shrank to only 500 feet. 500 feet was extremely close for Wang Lin and Empyrean Exalt High Z. The two of them looked at each other. It looks like this light curtain can't last even 10 years. I shrank it to resist against the broken palm, but even so, after 3 years, it shrank to 500 feet. If it was still 100,000 feet like before, it might have already been broken. Empyrean Exalt High Z's appearance and speech were different from a few years ago. They seemed to have gone back to normal. I fear it won't take long for this 500-foot range to shrink until the light curtain collapses. Empyrean Exalt High Z frowned and revealed a look of helplessness. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. He looked up at the light curtain and saw the blurry figure hiding in the darkness. The figure hiding there seemed to be looking back at him. The moment their gazes met, Wang Lin's heart trembled. It was as if the gaze from the figure contained a strange force that could suck in his attention. It also caused a sense of restlessness to fill his body. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and he immediately came to his senses. It is still staring at us, watching our every move. It has constantly been doing this for 3 years. There was fear in Empyrean Exalt High Z's eyes as she spoke. Wang Lin slowly said, "It's a broken palm." "But whose broken palm is it?" Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Empyrean Exalt High Z was startled as he flew upwards. Wang Lin's sudden movement caused Empyrean Exalt High Z to reveal a look of worry, and she was about to follow. "Don't come up. If you think that something is wrong with me, awaken me immediately." Wang Lin didn't look back, but his voice echoed in Empyrean Exalt High Z's mind. Empyrean Exalt High Z's beautiful body stopped and watched Wang Lin's back as he flew up. For some reason, this reminded her of when he blocked the palm for her a few years ago. Wang Lin instantly closed in on the edge of the light curtain until he was less than 3 feet from it. When he got close to the light curtain, the blurry figure outside moved toward him. Outside the light curtain, the blurry figure also stopped and was 3 feet away from the light curtain as well. It was 6 feet away from Wang Lin. It was a face without skin, it was a bloody mess, and extremely scary. However, it contained an unspeakable sense of majesty. But the overall figure was a blur. Only the left hand was very solid, as if it were real, but that was because it had skin. After faintly seeing the face of the figure, Wang Lin's pupils shrank and he revealed a look of disbelief. It was as if millions of bolts of thunder had exploded in his mind, and his body trembled. The blurry, skinless face's eyes revealed a strange light that seemed like it was going to penetrate Wang Lin's eyes. Wang Lin's mind rumbled and he lost consciousness. In his mind, that gaze contained a pair of eternal eyes. This pair of eyes contained an unspeakable sense of strangeness and turned into a voice that echoed in Wang Lin's mind. "Come! Come! Come!" As the sound echoed, a thunder-like heartbeat came from Wang Lin's body, resisting the bombardment of the voice. Wang Lin suddenly awakened and heard the anxious calls from Empyrean Exalt High Z. A fragrance swept toward him as she was already closing in. "I'm fine," Wang Lin slowly said. He was only 1 foot away from the light curtain. He only needed one more step to walk out of the light curtain. The moment Wang Lin awakened, the blurry figure let out a roar and smashed into the light curtain. The light curtain flashed violently but didn't break. Celestial Ancestor, Wang Lin's gaze penetrated the light curtain and landed on the figure smashing into the light curtain like crazy. Although the face of the figure outside had no skin and was just flesh and blood, Wang Lin had seen the shocking scene of the Celestial Ancestor sealing the Heavenly Bull when he absorbed the fire vein. The face of the vague figure was extremely similar to the face of the Celestial Ancestor. As the vague figure roared violently, ripples echoed across the light curtain. Wang Lin's expression was gloomy as he retreated back to the ground. The 500-foot light curtain trembled under the impact and shrank once more. It shrank from 500 feet to 300 feet. This caused Wang Lin and Empyrean Exalt High Z to be even closer. The vague figure smashed into the light curtain for half an hour before it slowly calmed down. It stared at Wang Lin and Empyrean Exalt High Z before retreating back into the dark. Empyrean Exalt High Z bit her lower lip and looked at the light curtain above. A moment later, she gloomily said, "This light curtain won't last for long." Wang Lin silently pondered. What he had vaguely seen made him feel like there was some secret hidden in the broken palm. If not, why would the Celestial Ancestor appear? Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he looked at Empyrean Exalt High Z. "Your teacher is Grand Empyrean Ju Di. Have you heard about the Celestial Ancestor?" "Celestial Ancestor?" Empyrean Exalt High Z looked at Wang Lin. When Wang Lin recognized the figure as the Celestial Ancestor, he had thought about it but hadn't said it out loud. So Empyrean Exalt High Z didn't know what Wang Lin had seen. "I heard teacher mention it once. A long time ago, the Celestial clan only had one continent. The Celestial Ancestor sealed beings that came from outside the continents to create the 72 continents we know today. I once heard from teacher that after sealing the 72nd being, the Celestial Ancestor went missing. No one knows where he went. Even his descendants searched for a long time and didn't learn the outcome. The teacher once accidentally muttered something that made it seem as if the Celestial Ancestor wasn't missing. Teacher suspects that the Celestial Ancestor encountered something. As for the specifics, teacher didn't want to elaborate on the matter." Empyrean Exalt High Z revealed a pondering gaze as she slowly spoke. When these words entered Wang Lin's ears, he was silent but pondering. Perhaps this broken palm belongs to the Celestial Ancestor. If so, who cut off the Celestial Ancestor's left hand? There are many rumors about the collapse of the Celestial Ancestor's sword. Could the collapse of the sword be related to this broken palm? However, why was this broken palm inside the Mountain Sea Tree seal? And this seal has been around for countless years. The Grand Empyreans would have long noticed it, but why did it only move now? Also, this area belongs to Grand Empyrean Dao Yi. With his cultivation level of Grand Empyrean, how could he not be aware? Or maybe, Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly. The several Grand Empyreans, including Dao Yi, long knew about the strange seal on the Mountain Sea Tree, but in the end, none of them acted recklessly. Wang Lin cultivated and continued to deduce. He took a deep breath and was shaken by the conclusion he came to. Wang Lin's eyes shined undetectably as he slowly said, "Empyrean Exalt High Z, since your teacher is Grand Empyrean Ju Di, why are you so far away from the central continent and live at the Mountain Sea? You doubt me?" Empyrean Exalt High Z looked at Wang Lin. Her beautiful eyes shined brightly. What a clever woman! Wang Lin thought to himself. Just based on one sentence from him, Empyrean Exalt High Z had guessed a lot. Wang Lin didn't explain, he just calmly looked at Empyrean Exalt High Z. The beautiful woman pondered a bit and her expression changed as if she was thinking of something. After a long time, she seemed to have thought of something and suddenly looked up, her eyes revealing a strange light. She frowned and whispered, "It was my teacher who told me to come the southern continent and make the Mountain Sea my cave." Wang Lin's eyes lit up. This confirmed some of his speculations. If this was true, then this was very problematic. Empyrean Exalt High Z quickly asked, "Where did you learn that the mountain sea tree has tree spirits?" "I heard it from an Empyrean Exalt under Grand Empyrean Wu Fen that there were tree spirits under the mountain sea." Wang Lin pondered even more. "I came to the mountain sea before and had a cave here, but not for long. However, 200 years ago, teacher suddenly told me to live here for a long time. You were pointed here by someone under Grand Empyrean Wu Feng. And this territory belongs to Grand Empyrean Dao Yi." Empyrean Exalt High Z's expression was extremely gloomy. Wang Lin smiled faintly. Empyrean Exalt High Z's words meant that she understood the key to this problem. Empyrean Exalt High Z closed her beautiful eyes. After a long time, she quietly said, "Teacher is using me as bait to lure out the broken palm in the seal of the mountain sea tree. I can understand this. Teacher raised me and taught me how to cultivate. Even if I'm bait, I have no complaints. The strange part is, why did Grand Empyrean Wu Feng involve you? What's the point of luring you here?" Empyrean Exalt High Z opened her eyes and looked at Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression remained neutral and he silently shook his head. However, he had a guess about this matter. Ordinary cultivators might not be able to see through my origin, and even Empyrean Exalts would find it difficult to detect. However, it is no secret to Grand Empyreans. The person under Grand Empyrean Wu Feng pointed me here with the intent to verify my identity, and he also holds the same goal as Grand Empyrean Ju Di. Although Grand Empyrean Ju Di used his disciple as bait, his method was obviously still gentle and he merely let her live here to silently attract the mountain sea tree spirit. However, I have no connection with Grand Empyrean Wu Feng, so he doesn't care about whether I live or die. He could both verify my identity and lure out the broken palm. They don't care if I came from the cave world or not, but if I'm an ancient country cultivator. Wang Lin had cultivated for nearly 3,000 years and, especially in the cave world, he had resolved crisis after crisis based on his own analysis and deduction. Although his mind was not too demonic, he had a mind that could deduct the truth by putting clues together. I just don't know what role Grand Empyrean Dao Yi played in this. Wang Lin's head was lowered and there was a flash of coldness in his eyes. Since teacher dared to let the Gui Yi sect know, then I believe he is confident they won't leak the information. Apart from this weakness, no one would know I'm Grand Empyrean Xian Luo's only disciple. As long as I don't reveal my identity, everything will be fine even though I came from the cave world. Let's wait for a while. This is, after all, just my speculation. Wang Lin pondered and looked at Empyrean Exalt High Z. This beautiful woman had her eyes closed and revealed nothing on her face. If Grand Empyrean Ju Di is really using her as bait, then there must be something strange about her. Wang Lin thought about the speculations from before and was more confident. However, he still had some doubts, like what kind of secret the Broken Palm had with the Celestial clan to attract the attention of Grand Empyreans. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and continued to focus on absorbing the mountain sea tree spirit. No matter what happened now, increasing his own cultivation level was fundamental to dealing with everything in the future. Time began to pass in this silence once more. In a flash, another 3 years passed. Adding the previous years, Wang Lin, an Empyrean Exalt High Z, had been trapped here for 7 years. During these 3 years, the blurry figure from the Broken Palm had appeared a total of 9 times. Each time, it roared and bombarded the light curtain, causing it to shrink 9 times. On this day, it was the 9th time. As the light curtain trembled, a cracking sound echoed, as if the curtain had reached its limit. It had shrunk 9 times during the last 3 years due to the Broken Palm, so it was now only 30 feet wide. The 30-foot distance forced Wang Lin and Empyrean Exalt High Z to be very close. Wang Lin could even smell Empyrean Exalt High Z's bodily fragrance. 30 feet wasn't big. If Wang Lin took out his yin blade, it was 30 feet long. This showed how small this area was. Because they were so close, Empyrean Exalt High Z could no longer cultivate. Her face was slightly red and she was somewhat uncomfortable. Her gaze toward Wang Lin had become more complicated. The same way Wang Lin could smell Empyrean Exalt High Z's bodily fragrance, she could also feel the body heat coming from Wang Lin. This area is too small. If there is no solution, the light curtain will soon break, and if it shrinks again, Empyrean Exalt High Z felt anger and shame. Wang Lin also frowned. In his whole life, aside from a limited number of women, he was rarely this close to a stranger. He was very uncomfortable as well, and the waves of bodily fragrance coming from her made Wang Lin frown constantly. Adding on their 7 years of contact, Empyrean Exalt High Z was an absolute beauty, like Mu Bingmai. This feeling made Wang Lin sigh in secret. I can't let this continue, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. However, at this moment, due to the light curtain shrinking and cracks appearing, the shadow outside appeared once more. It violently attacked the light curtain, and the sound outside became even more intense. The cracks on the light curtain began to spread. Under the bombardment, the light curtain shrank once more. 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet. 5 feet. When only 5 feet remained, Empyrean Exalt High Z was almost right next to Wang Lin's right side. Both could feel each other's body temperature through their clothes. The surroundings were completely black and the broken palm outside had stopped bombarding for some reason, leaving only silence. Only Empyrean Exalt High Z's breathing could be heard clearly inside the light curtain. Wang Lin, in the darkness, Empyrean Exalt High Z spoke softly. Her warm breath landed on Wang Lin's face. Don't talk, Wang Lin suddenly said as his eyes lit up. He looked up at the light curtain, and the shadow formed by the broken palm stared back. This light curtain will break soon. Control the formation to shatter and use the force from the collapse to push us out as fast as possible. When we charge out, both of us will use our strongest spells. I presume you have guessed that your teacher is already here. Wang Lin looked at the vague figure when he suddenly sent a message to Empyrean Exalt High Z. Empyrean Exalt High Z pondered for a moment and gently nodded. Wang Lin took a deep breath and inevitably inhaled some of High Z's fragrance, but he had no time to feel discomfort. There was a flash of coldness in his eyes. Empyrean Exalt High Z's hands formed a seal and pointed at the light curtain above. With this, the light curtain rumbled. The countless cracks collapsed. As the countless fragments shattered, the remaining force pushed the two of them out. Borrowing this force, Wang Lin and Empyrean Exalt High Z charged out as the light curtain collapsed. Also, Empyrean Exalt High Z followed Wang Lin's previous command. Her hands formed seals and the oval seal that contained 90 spells appeared. The oval seal emitted an extremely bright light. The oval seal first smashed into the shadow from the broken palm and created a thunderous rumble. This rumble was so loud, it felt like the void was blown open. The shadow was pushed back. At this moment, there were 3 figures above the mountain sea, floating there and looking down. Although the 3 of them were there, if cultivators passed by, they wouldn't be able to detect them at all. They wouldn't even be able to see them. Among these 3 figures, one of them was a young man in a Dao robe. Black hair, sword-like brows, and looked around 20 years old. His eyes were like the stars, and it was easy for people to lose themselves looking at them. He looked very young but was surrounded by an ancient aura. He looked calm, but everything around him was frozen. It was as if everything around him had to freeze to worship him. He was Grand Empyrean Dao Yi. Several feet away from him was the second figure. This was a middle-aged man with a long figure. He was a head taller than Empyrean Exalt Dao Yi. He wore very simple linen clothes and his hands were behind his back. He didn't have any hair but didn't seem bald. His expression was rough and he was not handsome, but he gave off the illusion of a storm. His eyes revealed a terrifying aura that made the world tremble under his feet. Anyone who looked at him would forget about him and would only remember that shocking gaze. He looked calm and gave off an aura of might without being angry. An unspeakable aura spread out. This aura seemed like the limit of the celestial Dao, the ultimate martial art. It was as if this person had reached Dao with martial arts, used martial arts to break the world and step into the rank of Grand Empyrean. Then, the moment he became a Grand Empyrean, he sealed his own martial art to return to the origin and become one with the world. That's why his name is Wu Feng. 1. Originally, nothing moved in the area around Dao Yi, but this man's hair and clothes fluttered as if there was wind. It seems like Dao Yi's aura had no effect on him. The last figure was an old man. The old man was wearing a blue robe and was standing there calmly. There was nothing extraordinary about him and he looked like an ordinary cultivator. His appearance wasn't anything special and he had a slightly hunched back. His face was filled with wrinkles and there wasn't much light in his eyes. He looked sickly and depressed, but he was fine in Dao Yi's aura that froze everything, and it was as if Wu Feng's unique aura didn't even exist to him. Zhu Di, your disciple is in trouble, Dao Yi smiled and looked at the old man in green. Although this old man looked normal, Dao Yi knew that Zhu Di was the oldest of the current 5 Grand Empyreans. It was rumored that he was a cultivator from back when the celestial ancestor was still around. His original name was Zhu Di and his appearance was extremely handsome. However, after countless years and 9 reincarnations, the Zhu became Zhu Long. 2. The green-robed old man slowly said, if not for you two, my disciple could have long escaped. This has nothing to do with me, I have a good impression of this Wang Lin. Dao Yi smiled and shook his head. I also have a good impression of this person, but there is still something about his origin that needs to be tested here. The person who spoke was Wu Feng. Back then, Xian Luo came to the Celestial clan. As long as he is not related to Xian Luo, it will be fine. Dao Yi looked at the mountain sea below. However, Dao Yi suddenly exclaimed softly. Not only him, but Wu Feng also looked over with a serious gaze. The old man was also surprised as he looked over. The mountain sea below was covered by a layer of black ink. Beneath the black ink was the endless sea, and at the bottom was a black hole. Inside the black hole was the mountain sea tree. Violent rumbles came from the layers of seals around it. It was Empyrean Exalt High Z who had attacked. The oval seal collided with the broken palm, but after the broken palm collapsed, it reformed. Wang Lin raised his hand and the heavenly bull tattoo on his face flashed. The soul armor covered his whole body and he used his strongest spell. There must be a Grand Empyrean outside, either Wu Feng, Dao Yi, or Zhu Di. Since you want to see my origin and my strength, then I'll let you all clearly see them. Wang Lin raised his right hand and waved as he rushed out. With this wave, the world changed colors. The sound of waves echoing rang out in this dark void. A sea appeared, and at the edge of the sea, the outline of a golden sun was quickly rising. As the sun rose, endless golden light spread out in all directions. The sunlight contained the power to tear open the darkness and cause the dark night to be pushed back. A figure appeared inside the sun. That figure was Wang Lin. His eyes were closed and he rose with the sun. As the golden light tore open the darkness, he opened his eyes. When he opened his eyes, the endless golden light released by the sun contained a trace of faith. This was Wang Lin's faith. It was precisely this faith that made Wang Lin's sundered night into a faith spell. If you all want to see, then I'll let you see. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly. I believe all darkness will be scattered. I believe light will penetrate the dark sky and shine on the earth. I believe all my enemies will scatter. As Wang Lin muttered this, the sunlight tore open the night and penetrated the dark, broken palm shadow. The shadow began to condense but immediately collapsed into countless specks, becoming dim. They didn't dissipate but were pushed back and showed signs of reforming. However, from its bleak color, this broken palm shadow didn't escape Wang Lin's most powerful spell uninjured. The endless sunlight continued to spread. It not only penetrated the night, but also the mountain sea tree. It was as if there was a sun inside the mountain sea tree. The sunlight shined through the trunk of the mountain sea tree and penetrated the seal. It ignored the black hole and shined through directly from the bottom of the mountain sea. The blackness in the sea faded as the sunlight shined through. It penetrated through the layer of black ink on the surface of the sea and entered the eyes of Dao Yi, Wu Feng, and Zhu Di. Faith spell. Grand Empyrean Dao Yi's eyes shined brightly. He's an Empyrean Exalt cultivator, but he has such faith power. Grand Empyrean Wu Feng's eyes shined and revealed a powerful gaze. Only the short old man frowned. He raised his right hand and pointed at the water below. It was a very ordinary action, as if it was done by a mortal. As the sea was penetrated by the endless sunlight, thunderous rumbles echoed. The sea seemed to be boiling as it churned, and a huge finger seemed to push down toward the bottom. Thunderous rumbles echoed as Wang Lin charged out from the sea without hesitation. He quickly flew away as if he didn't see the three Grand Empyreans. Behind him, Empyrean Exalt Haizi followed, but the sea below her formed a vortex. A huge, broken palm was chasing after her. However, just as the broken palm closed in, the finger made of sea water arrived and collided with the broken palm. The resulting rumble was thunderous as the broken palm paused for a moment. Empyrean Exalt Haizi's face was pale as she escaped from the sea. Roar! The broken palm was pushed down by the finger, but a ferocious roar echoed. The broken palm turned into the shadow and roared at the sky. Its eyes were even more crazed, and it could see the three Grand Empyreans in the sky. It ignored Haizi and charged at those three. It was as if no one could trample on its might. The blue-robed old man's eyes shined and he stepped forward. He stood between Empyrean Exalt Haizi and the broken palm as he raised his right hand. Teacher, Empyrean Exalt Haizi looked at the old man. She silently pondered and couldn't help but look at where Wang Lin had gone. She had a complicated expression as she let out a sigh. 1. Wu is martial arts, Feng is seal. Hence his name. 2. Play on words where both Chinese for 9 and long are pronounced Ju. This video will end here.